Hi guys, so this is the instructional video for the lesson 1.8 Captains of Industry or Robber Barons assignment, okay? So this assignment exists to kind of take a step back from our current state and evaluate what we've learned so far. This is a 4-day assignment, but I am going to explain in this video every single thing you need to do, my friends. So do not worry and do not fear, because it's going to be a-okay, alright? So I am on the day 1 instructions, and we're going to go over exactly what you need to complete today to make sure you're on the right track for the project. So what are you learning? In this lesson, you will research the 4 most famous industrialists of the Gilded Age, and you will have 4 days to complete the assignment. So the first thing you need to do is to read the Captains of Industry or Robber Barons directions. Let's go ahead and visit there. Alright, 1 second there, guys. So we are on the project instructions page, and one thing you guys need to know when I do projects in my class, first off, I lay them out day by day, and there will be little items due on certain days in the project to make sure you're completing what you need to. If you've had me before, you know that I'm a big fan of notes pages and making sure we research and really put time and thought into our projects. So for the next 4 days, not 3, silly Mrs. Devlin, you're going to work on an activity to determine who the greatest captain of industry or robber baron of the Gilded Age was. You're going to evaluate 4 of the most well-known industrialists of the Gilded Age in order to prove who was the greatest. I've included pictures of our 4 besties right here. We've got Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, and J.P. Morgan. These names should all be familiar to you because we've obviously been reading our lessons, but these are names that are still pretty familiar in society, like Rockefeller Center in New York City. J.P. Morgan is still a company that has commercials. And Andrew Carnegie, if you're from Pittsburgh, you've probably heard of him before. Your job is going to be to answer 2 questions. Who was the most ruthless, cunning, intelligent, money-making captain of industry of the Gilded Age? And were these men captains or were they robber barons? I'm going to give you guys a hint here. On page 470 of your textbook, they talk about how some people saw these men as great, while others saw them as pretty despicable. And it's up to you to research them and make a decision on your own. I've included some links here to help you get started. There is a sample project you can check out. There is a notes page you can check out. There is a resources sheet you can check out. You'll really need to take a look at all 3 of those today. I will be going over the notes page and the resources sheet because those are 2 things you're really going to need to look at today. But I'd really recommend you take a look at that sample project when you have a moment. It'll help you out. And as always, I put rubrics front and center. And I don't think you guys look at them enough. So guys, take a look at it, because this is exactly how you're going to be graded, okay? I give you 5 points if you turn in the assignment by the required date. I give you 20 points for providing 10 pieces of evidence on your chosen captain or robber baron. I give 20 points for demonstrating a thorough analysis of why you chose your captain or baron as the greatest using details and ideas. So you're going to be spending the first 2 days of this assignment researching all 4 of those men on the page. For the final 2 days, you're going to pick the one that you think was the greatest and create a picto chart, which is a really neat kind of online poster about that person. I also need you to include 5 pictures in your assignment. Make sure they're relevant. To use creativity with backgrounds, fonts, colors, and effects, don't turn in a black and white poster. You will not get full credit. Be creative, have fun with it a little bit. Ask me for help if you need anything, and you'll do a great job. Lastly, I give 5 points for correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Basically, I need to be able to understand what you're talking about, and we gotta give some points for that. This assignment will be worth a total of 70 points, but you have 4 days to do it, so I don't want you to be scared or worried. Let's take a look at what you need to be working on. So you will have 4 days to complete the assignment. Follow the steps below each day to make sure you finish on time. So, for today, day 1, you're going to be researching each of the 4 men using resources and a notes page. Be sure to take notes, and remember, you'll want to find out as much as possible so you can fully support your argument about who was the greatest. I have a couple things to consider here. What methods did the man use to make his fortune? How much did the man's life and background influence his choices and actions? How did the man treat his workers? Were there any strikes or problems with employees at his business? What was the man's lifestyle choices? Did he live in luxury? Did he share his wealth with others in any way? And how do we remember him today? There's nothing to submit for day 1. I'm going to show you the notes page in just a second. You're going to submit that actually tomorrow because it's kind of a big notes page. And I want to make sure you have all the time you need to do a really great job researching. Let's take a look at the resources and notes page together now. I'm going to go ahead and pull the notes page up first. So, this is your notes page. It is created in the form of a big old table. You're going to use the chart below to guide your research of each industrialist. You should provide details, not just one-word answers. So don't write, in what industry did he make his fortune? Don't write like steel or oil. Tell me more. You can do it. This is not an all-inclusive list, and you will need more details, but this will help you kind of figure out which industrialist you believe to be the greatest. This is due on day 2 of the project, and I've included the definitions of captain of industry and robber baron to help you out. So you're going to use the resources that I have for you on the resource page, which I'll show you in a second, to answer these questions. You can also always use your textbook. Your textbook is your best friend in your social studies classes. So check it out. I promise there's ways to get all of the information you need. So I've included questions here to help you out. Just make sure that you are including complete ideas on these and that you don't leave anything blank. If you leave something blank, that means you didn't ask for help when you should have. So make sure we're communicating if you don't understand something on here, okay? Let's go back and take a look at the resources page. So what I've done is I've created a Google document with some instructions about research. Basically, guys, we need to make sure we are using valid and clear resources when we research for history class. This can't be something you find from Google. Use the resources that I've given here. Here's the instructions, guys. Use the resources below to help you get to know our robber barons, or captains of industry, a little better. The sources on this page are valid and truthful. Please use these sites and these sites alone. If you're looking into a different site, just send me an email. I'll check it out and make sure it's okay for you. But you need to do that first, because sometimes we use websites that aren't so great. So you can use Chapter 14, Sections 2 and 3 in your book, Chapters 36 and 37 on a U.S. history website, and I've included individual biography pages from 2 different sites for all of our 4 men here, for Carnegie, Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, and J.P. Morgan. So going back to our instructions, for day 1 you are just starting your project, okay? And that's where I want you to be today. Tomorrow you're going to work on finishing your graphic organizer and submitting it. Need help? Always contact me, guys, okay? For day 3, we'll be starting on creating a picto chart, and I'm not really going to get into that on this video because I want you only focusing on the notes page, okay? If you get stuck, guys, let me know. Good luck, you got this.